Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I I'm bringing y'all in with me for my live interview with Virtual Way Publishing, and I'm just letting y'all in on the back on the back off. We have VIP passes. Okay, this is your VIP pass um, for um, this interview with Virtual Way Publishing. So y'all sit tight. We're gonna start in a minute. Actually, in a few minutes. I was telling my audience that this is their VIP pass.
Now they can't see through this streaming, can they? They'll just be looking at you talking.
They'll just be looking at me.
Okay, all right. And then
Okay, I need to
you know,
add this link on my Facebook, or can you tag my page, or how can I tag people to get them on to watch this?
so once we get started, you can share it to your page. Um, I don't know. We probably can do the link. So do you need the link again? Um, See, what'll happen is if I give you the link to, then the people will be able to get on the stage, and that's not what I want.
Okay, so this is on your Facebook page, right?
Yes, it'll be on my Facebook page.
Can you go on your
Uh,
page and tag me on your page?
okay, once it goes live, then I can do that.
Okay, okay. You know what I
Because
mean? You know, you tag people in, and when you tag
mm-hmm,
people in, it shows up on their page.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. Once it goes live, so let me Nick me get to Facebook now. Wait, I've got 2 minutes.
Okay, you can see everything, right? Hey, y'all. I see y'all on there. Hello, everybody. Again, this is your girl, Selena Robinson, your sister, your cousin, your next door neighbor. Y'all know we family. Listen, this is your VIP pass because y'all are my subscribers. I'm doing an interview today with a publisher, Virtual Way Publishing. So y'all enjoy and invite some people on here. Make sure you go on our Facebook page. You can find Selena L Robinson on all of my social media um, platforms. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So listen, we're going to start in 1 minute. I may not be able to turn my head and have a conversation with you, but I want you to sit back and enjoy this interview. Okay? I love y'all. I love y'all. I see you. I love y'all. Okay.
Yeah, you're a professional, so you know how to go between you know both spaces.
Yeah,
You know,
they know I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. I see y'all coming on in here too. Come on, y'all. You know, tag some folks. Y'all gotta tag some folks. I got 30
um,
seconds and y'all better make sure I better see y'all at the place. All right? All right. All right now. See y'all at the book launch.
all right. So let me go live so that I can get this link to you. All right. So we are live. Hello, 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 Facebook. Let me start sharing out to our fans. All right. Let me.
Oh, it's gonna be good tonight.
Huh?
It's gonna be good tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know you are ready. I know you are so ready. Let me turn this down here. Okay. And I'm going to forward this link to you. Let me tag you in here. Okay. Good evening, Facebook. Good evening, Facebook family. I'm so excited to be here. This is my Friday night fireside chat, and I'm so happy to be here tonight. As usual, um, I have a special guest tonight. She is very dear to me. I'm looking how to, let me see something, Selena. Let me see how to tag. It's just giving me the share. Uh, so let me share it to your page for right now.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out the rest.
All right.
Share to Selena. Let me do it. It's always easier for me to do it on my phone. So, listen, like I was saying, she's very dear to me, um, because we have talked about this book for, a long time, and she is finally here. Miss Selena L Robinson. Um, she is we call ourselves sister cousins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, and if you look at us good, you can see the similarity.
Come on.
She has always been so dear to me. We've been like sisters throughout the years. And, you know, she's having a book launch coming up. We're going to put information out there so I'll be able to share my story um, with about how we got here. So she is going to share tonight her story. She's going to share with us what inspired her to write her book, but she's also going to talk about 5 ways to make money being a self-published author, um, even before you get started. So she's going to be talking to us about that. So we're so excited to have her here tonight. And I introduced um, to many, and I know her family is here. I know everybody is watching. She has an audience on several platforms, and so they'll all be watching tonight. So it is an honor for me to present Miss Selena Robinson.
Wow. Come on now. I hear the applause in the background. Yeah, so to God be the glory.
Yeah, clappers. I need my clappers. I got my clappers. So go ahead.
Yeah, so to God be the glory. Thank you for that introduction. It's an honor to be here with you today. I know that we are family, but I look up to you. You inspire me, and here we are. Like, how did we get here? How did we get here? My sister cousin. But for the public, we're gonna show some respect. She's my publisher. Virtual Way Publishing is the publisher of my dear sweet book that I've also shared with others. We have other contributors in the book of Testaments of Faith, Real Stories of Victory and Transformation. And going back almost 15 years ago, I knew that it was. I knew I was going to write a book. Okay, I just didn't know when, how, what, and where. And so it was always in my spirit. And I believe that, I had to live a little bit. I had to go through some things because God wasn't done with me yet. And So, Virtual Way Publishing, they started their company a long time ago, and I thought I was ready, and God was like, "No, not yet, little one. We still have some. You still got to go through some things. Got to go through the fire." And I always promised. I said, when it's time, I promise I'll come back. And so God led us back together, and it's been such a wonderful experience. I must say, listen, if you're looking for, and I got to plug. If you're looking for a publishing company, Christian based, willing to stay up in the midnight hour, come on, somebody, while you're sleeping. They called her the midwife publisher. Um, you know, I was getting emails in the midnight hour at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm waking up and I'm reading my emails. I said, "Good Lord, this woman is working to get this done." She's worth every dime. Virtual Way Publishing is worth every dime. You hear me? And I would actually put this company with other major companies. This is how I view this company, and I really appreciate. And I listen, I really appreciate you holding my hand and walking me through this whole experience. I've learned a lot as a new author. I've learned so much. And so thank you, Shayo. I really appreciate that. So testaments of faith, like I said, God gave it to me several years ago. And it wasn't until maybe recently, and I say recently, like the beginning of this year, I heard a book of testimonies. And I said, huh? I said, okay, that's okay. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but okay. Like, I just heard like a book of testimonies, and life is going on, and I'm experiencing different things and trials and tribulations. And, I'm just going through, right? And, and then fast forward, I don't want to give everything that's in this book, glory to God, but I'm going to give you enough to pique your interest. And so fast forward, God placed me God placed me at a job, and this was like a few months ago, to be honest with you, like, so not even less than a year ago. And I knew that job was a placeholder. I just felt in my spirit like this job is a placeholder. I don't believe that it's for me to be here forever. I just felt that in my spirit. And then I was going through so many spiritual warfare. Oh my gosh. Um, and I don't want to call out the company. However, I will say the manager there, we serve two different gods. And when you have different gods in the same building, it's only one living God that's going to shine. But it was a battle. It was a battle. It was a battle. I said, Lord, you have me here for a reason. So during that time, I got a chance to meet some amazing people. I made some awesome connections. And long story short, um, that job was no longer. So um, I'll try to give you every piece of little detail, because every piece of little detail about this testimony, it matters, because God has a plan. We may not know it or understand it, but God has a plan. We just have to trust Him, and just stay in the process. And so I knew that it was my time to leave, because the day before my dismissal or my departure from this particular company, I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, this is going to be your last day. I said, oh my God, I know I didn't hear that. Not when, finances are pretty tight in my home, and I'm full transparency. I believe that, when we're transparent, people can understand that you're not alone. And so I said, no, 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 Lord, our finances, we need this change. And this is me talking to God, right? The God who owns money, who created money. I'm like, God, we need this money. What are you talking about? And so the next day I went to work, and that's what happened. It was my last day, and I was already prepared. He had already told me to clean up my desk and so forth. I said, this is, I don't know. I said, Lord, you got to come through, because you already know what's going on at home. And so that was that. And then driving home, he said, now write the book. I said, oh, now I know. Because writing a book costs money. Is that right, Shayel? It costs money.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It costs money. And I said, and I, God said, don't worry about it. It's in my control. I said, okay, if you said it, I believe it. And that's what I did. And I said, Lord, is it time? He said, yes, write the book. And then he brought me back to the name of what he wanted the book to be about, a book of testimonies. So, and I said, okay. So I said, Lord, well, can I have at least 24 hours of rest before I start writing? And he allowed me to have that. And the very next day, I'm telling you, everything just came. Like it was just a quick download. And 15 years took me only a month or two to complete this book. And Virtual Way Publishing is my witness. It didn't take long because I was open and willing and being obedient. And the contributors in this book, I reached out to all of them, and it was just so easy. Everyone was on board. We have some powerful testimonies in the book, but also tonight, that's a little bit about the background, the backdrop as to how this book came about, and just being obedient and timing, God's timing. God's timing. I don't know if you wanted to go into the topic tonight. I felt like it was very important for people to know, like, what made you write this book? What is it about? Like, all of a sudden, you don't really hear those stories with authors. They just pop up with a book, like, hey, I got a book. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's dig in. How did you, like, what did it come from? But I love allowing my audience and my subscribers to know a little bit about who I am.
Mm-hmm. So how now when you decided to, or when you heard the call from the Lord to write the book, to finally write the book, how were you able to um, know who to choose to be a part of the book? Because the book is kind of like an anthology.
Yes.
It has, these wonderful testimonies in the book. And it's truly testimonies of um, faith and victory and transformation.
Yes. Yeah.
They truly are, excellent stories. So how are you able to choose the right people for, putting this project together?
That's a good question. I put a list of people together who I thought would be really great, and I knew part of their testimony, maybe not the full story. So what I did was I just made a list of people, and I reached out to everybody, and maybe it was like maybe 20 people. I said, God, whoever responds, that's going to be who you want to be in the book. And that's exactly what happened. And we have at least 12 individuals in the book, some couples that make up that 12, but we have at least 12 individuals in this book who were all sent by God. And I just trust him. I just trusted him with that whole process.
Yes, yes. And like you said, it didn't take us that long. For the most part, you had the majority of the testimonies already ready to go.
Yeah.
And we were able to pull everything together. And as we were pulling it together, there was a couple more that was added on. And then you had, an extraordinary emergency that came about. So that had to be added as well.
Oh my God.
And,
come on, people they have to know. They have to know what God did,
So, and that's what happens sometimes. One of the things that I learned about when I wrote my first book, excuse me, was that I had to live it first.
Yeah.
As mine was also a book that was inspired, by God. I was in the hospital when I got the vision for the book, and I didn't have any idea what to do with it. I just got, excuse me, these chapters and the name of the book. And I was like, I didn't know anything about writing a book. So I was like, what does
right.
So it was several, years later that I got, the answers to what I was supposed to do with it. And so I started putting it together. And then it still wasn't time for me to publish it yet because I had to live it out. And that you remember Trial by Fire, the making of a vessel.
Yes.
So I had to go through the making part before that I can even talk about, becoming a vessel that God was able to use.
Yeah.
And so I did not publish it until after Rob passed, because you know, now is the time for me to finish the book. I've lived these parts that because it was broken down into the process of being made, of an actual vessel being made on the potter's wheel. And so go through each one of those phases, and some of them was like being cut away. You know how the potter cuts the clay away.
Yeah,
shaped, had to be shaped and molded and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I had to do all of that before I could even talk about it. And so we have to, so there's times that when we have books like that and like yours, we have to live those things first. And so, but in our minds, it's like, well, what's taking so long, or why, then we start getting a little bit of fear, and, all that kind of stuff builds up. And it's only God saying it's not time yet. And so I'm grateful that I got the phone call from you that says, okay, now I'm ready.
Now I'm ready. And that was a major call. I was nervous, but I said, God, okay, we out here now. we are out here now. I wanted to read an insert from the book based on what you're saying. Like we have to live it, right? And then we can tell it. And the important part of that, after we live it and we're telling it, God wants us to tell our testimony. The Bible says we overcome by the words of our testimony, and it encourages the listener, and it lets them know, like, they're not alone. You're not the only person who has experienced something like that. No matter what it is. So that's the assignment, to encourage people to tell their testimony. There was a time in my life where this boldness was not there. I come from a background of a lot of girls, so it's 5 of us. And so I didn't have to do a lot of talking. I didn't have to do a lot of talking. They did a lot of the talking. They did a lot of the protecting based on what we experienced growing up. Being abused, mishandled by loved ones. And so they're very, very protective. So growing up, I kind of like embodied that, and that became me. And all the shyness and everything was like, no, 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 no. You wouldn't hear Selena say anything about anything that she experienced. And it wasn't until learning and growing at the church that I'm currently at now, and going through our women's program, our VWV women's program, is where I really, said, um, no, I'm not apologizing for who I am. I'm not apologizing for any of those things. I am who God has called me to be. I am created. Uh, I am God's beautiful. I'm beautiful, wonderfully made, and so what? So just so what? But I wanted to read this, and it talks about us giving our testimony. Here's what the book looks like. Okay. Here's the book. And I'm going to read, and I want to give a shout out to Antonio Santiago. He created the design for the book. So thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. I've heard so many compliments, so thank you. And it reads, it says, imagine if your testimony is precisely what someone else needs to hear to find the strength to hold on and not give up. Would you then share it? Your story has the power to save a soul, to prevent harm, and to inspire hope. The impact of your words could touch one person, and that one person could tell another, creating a ripple effect that reaches thousands. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So there's no telling where these testimonies are going to go. The whole point of that is to us, what the Holy Spirit told me is that this book is going to strengthen the faith of the believers, of our brothers and sisters, and the testimonies are also a witness to bringing people into the kingdom of God. And I believe that's exactly what it's going to do, because I've laid this book before the Lord. It has traveled with me to various worship sessions, soaking sessions, and just, you know, I believe that this is an assignment from God, you know.
Mhm.
So that's what the message is. Tell it, tell your story, tell your
So
story.
that's right, and that's what we are all about over here. Is and that's why I decided to start spotlighting my authors, because they all have transformational stories to tell, and it gives them exposure. Now, I wanted to, before we go into the topic, I wanted to say that Selena has been the perfect um, example of a profitable of what a profitable self-publishing author looks like. She hit the ground running, before the book was even published. She started, creating her audience, and I'm sorry. She started creating her audience. She does her lives on her Facebook channel. She is always on her YouTube channel. She's building up that audience. So when we did the launch for her best-selling status, she had the audience already ready to purchase. Whenever we said go, they were right there. So that's so important with building the audience. So she has a YouTube channel, her Facebook. She even has merch all ready, for the book. And so I just wanted to, really point that out, because that's some of the things that, we teach is to, build your audience, and get the people behind you, so that when it's time for your book to launch. Now she has a book signing and soft launch coming up on the 30th already. So she did all of that before the book was even published. She set everything up, so it was just so perfect. And I just wanted to acknowledge that and just say that I'm so proud of her, because she did some of that stuff without me even, telling her to do it. And so I hurried up, and because when I saw the speed at which she was going, I, created an author kit for her, like a media kit, where she would have a press release, a business card, all of that kind of stuff. So she is like ready to go. She is running, a race, because she is so passionate about this book, and I'm so happy for her and for all of the contributors of this book. So because of that, we came up with the title about um, ways that you can make money before the book even launches, or before you get started and all of that. So she wants to share from her perspective how you do that.
Thank you, Shael. So yeah, these are five. These are five ways of making money as self publishing. Even if you're just starting, and these are the five things that I did personally myself. This is not anything that I heard. Like she said, I just hit the ground running. And a little bit about me, I love doing research. So if you give me something, or if you tell me something, I'm going to do research on it. That's just me. That's just who I am. Um, and so, um, excuse me if I'm looking down, I'm reading my bullet
Yes,
points, and I don't want to leave anything out, because I
yes,
believe that this is going to be a blessing for others. And if you're considering being a first time author, I pray that you take one of these and use them. And I'm telling you, it's working for me. And how I knew it was working, because I went in my back office and I saw some royalty money. I said, "Oh, okay." But also coming from, entrepreneur background, um, it's always, encouraged to not worry about money, not worry about status, not worry about, what you're going to get from it. Just put in the work. Just do the work, help as many people as you can, tell your testimony to as many people as you can. And God is he's going to bring in the increase. And that's what I'm seeing, based on the work that we've put out. And before I get started, I want to say thank you to all of the contributors, to this book, because it wouldn't be without you. Thank you for your testimonies. Um, I thank you for laboring. I thank you for, we have a group together, and we're constantly communicating with each other. We're always supporting each other in our endeavors. But listen, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom, the top, the side. Listen, all of my heart. I love each and every last one of you dearly. But here's 5 ways to make money self-publishing, even if you're just starting out. And the first one I want to go over is learn the business side of publishing. And virtual way publishing allowed me to really, 10 toes down, really get in there and understand the business side of it and what it takes, to publish your book. And I think that's very important. And even as a music manager in music business, I often tell the artists to not just focus on the craft, but to also learn the business. It's very important to do that. Um, Number two, I would say, leverage your social media platforms. Like Shayo said earlier, that's what I did. I had, I think I have all of the platforms. Facebook, everyone knows Facebook. Go live on Facebook, post as often as you can. People may say, "Oh, you're posting too much," but hey, I bet you my post, you're going to remember it, right? Or post every other day, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Threads, on TikTok, all of those social media platforms. Just make sure you're leveraging your social media platforms. And also, I got my contributors involved. Collaborate and build momentum. And that's what we did. Just building momentum. Have those who may be a part of your project, have them get involved with promoting, and pushing it on their social media platforms. And outside of being an author, that's my style of promoting anyway. Everyone that's involved, um, we all, we push it together. So that way, to the world, it looks like, oh man, I've been seeing this a lot. And I think that's also important. Number four, like we spoke about earlier, create merchandise and strategize for promoting. And that's what we did. We created, first, we started off with t shirts. And then, we thought about it like, okay, wait a minute, it's the weather starting to, you know, shift and change. So now we have t shirts and we have hoodies. And just recently we launched like the sweatpants. But, consider doing something like that for your product, for your book. That also helps to bring in sale and revenue so that you can, invest that back into promoting your product. And let's see here. And lastly, just stay consistent and purpose driven. That's the number one thing that people look for. They look for like a stick to itiveness about what you're doing. And it's so important that you don't let the momentum die. And I often say, like, time may pass, but no one can be more excited than your product than you are, right? So always keep that consistency and always be purpose driven. Um, if you follow me on social media, you'll see I post all the time. I post all the time. It may not be every day, it may be every other day, but you're going to hear about what's going on, so that we can gain your trust, um, and hopefully you will support what we're doing. So those are my top five that has really helped me, not thinking about the numbers, not thinking about how I'm going to benefit, how the company's going to benefit. It's just truly getting the word out and focusing on how many people are going to be blessed. from what God has called us to do.
All right, all right. I have my mentor always told me, um, if nobody complains about your posting, then you're not posting enough.
That's
Then you're
it.
supposed to post, people, and if nobody's complaining, you're not working, you're not posting enough, So um, you're doing an excellent job with that. I wanted to go back to the number one, and that was learning the business side of the publishing. And we didn't talk about you being a music manager. We didn't, when you were talking about yourself, you didn't talk about that part, that you are definitely a manager of um, a music group. So we'll get to that. And I used to take part in that. We used to have so much fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We are the day ones of that whole birth.
Yeah, that's right. And where we used to, help so many um, new talent, and that's what was so cool about it, was that you had this platform for new talent, and were actually discovered from that, and it was an awesome time.
There's more information coming for you. Some good stuff.
All right, all right. So when you talk about the business side of the publishing, you also deal with the process. So that was one of the things that was happening between us with building this book, is that you were learning the process of what it takes to actually build this whole project until it's finished. And like you said, you are a researcher, so whatever I would tell you, you would go research it out. And then you would come back and say, well, I saw this, I saw that. What does this mean? What does that mean? So it's always so good to take an interest in what you're doing, and as far as self-publishing your book, because there are many processes, and a lot of times what excuse me helps me, or how I get so many referrals, is that people don't want to follow the process. They just don't want to do
it. I don't know why, but I do know why. It becomes overwhelming.
Yes.
Yeah, it becomes overwhelming, but you gotta stick with it.
Yes, it can be, overwhelming, and sometimes, and I try my best to make the process easy, and I always explain myself along the way. Um, but for some people, the process is a little difficult for them, especially if they're not tech savvy. Um, and so I'm always, helping people along the way, the best way that I can. And it's best to, understand what it is that we're doing, understand the reasons why. And, most of the time I tell people, just listen to me. I'm not going to steer you wrong.
No, she won't.
Just listen to me. Sometimes people listen, sometimes they don't, but, we all
I'm glad I listen.
Sometimes you have a choice, and so it's just, it's an amazing process. Now, I see that just popped up on the live is a dear friend of mine, Selena Hammond. Now, I'm going to tell you about Selena. Selena was my very first business coach. Like when Rob died, I didn't know what I was going to do. I happened to go online, and I was like, oh, people are making like all this money online. How do you do this? And so I was like, I want to do this. I want to make a month what I make in a whole year. And so I went on that journey, and I met Sue. I saw a very funny video that she and her family was doing around Thanksgiving. Cracked me up so much. And when I started following her, I saw that she was a coach. And so I reached out to her, and we connected. She was the person who got me on my first airplane to fly. And then we went to Mexico, on the different retreats. But she was the one who taught me how to publish my book.
Wow.
And she was the one who, so when we got to Florida for the retreat, we launched the book right there live on Facebook from Florida, my very first book. So she special place in my heart. So thank her for being here tonight. And Renee, thank you, Renee. I work with Renee. Renee's close to me too. These are friends of mine for a long time. And Selethia, I met Selethia through another business coach. So, I am always amazed at all the people that I meet around the world just doing this publishing. I have so many clients from different states, and I have some clients who are from Jamaica. I got at least 3 clients from Jamaica, so it's amazing. It's amazing, and I have actually gotten on planes to go and meet some of these people. So,
Virtual Way Publishing is about to be a household name.
That's my desire. That's my desire. To to be a big publishing company. I want that because I want to help so many people tell their stories, because so many people are afraid to tell their stories.
Yeah.
Especially when it was time to read their book, to do their books. Yeah. They're scared. They're scared. They don't know what people are going to think.
Yeah.
Especially family members, so people are afraid to put that in writing, because once it's in writing, it's forever.
That's right. That's right. Right. Absolutely.
So people are afraid of that, and so I try, through love, to encourage people to just do it, and and if it's a way that you don't want to say something, then we'll say it another way, so it won't be offensive, and and stuff like that. So. Listen, when I wrote my book, the first book, I was afraid of what my mother was going to think. I was so scared about it, because I shared some things, about my youth and everything, so I was scared. And when she got the copy and she read the book, she liked it.
Wow.
She liked it. And because I had some family members say, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you," and I don't feel sorry for me. It's my story. It's my truth.
Come on.
And so, because my mom didn't chastise me or anything about what I said, I was like, I don't care what anybody think about my book now. She was the one, who I was afraid of. You know what I mean? So she loved it, and so I didn't have a problem ever since. So. It's just been a blessing, but just understanding the process of
I've been through that. I would like to read that. Just prompted me to read something else from the book. These are just little things, little snippets, but just gives you a little taste of what the book is about. But like she said, sometimes we get scared to tell our testimony. We're afraid of what people are going to say, what they're going to think. They're going to start treating you differently. And then sometimes they really don't know what to say, so that creates awkward moments. And I also talk about those awkward moments in the book as well. So this is one of the chapters. The title is From Silence to Strength, Embracing Authenticity in the Face of Judgment. And so I'll read just a short portion of it. And so this is my personal experience. I remember one time at church, a member, let's call her ex, told me she'd seen my YouTube channel and heard my testimony. She smiled at me and gave me a huge hug. It was sweet, right? Except she did this every time she saw me.
Okay.
And smiling and nodding like I was some fragile artifact. It was as if my story made her uncomfortable, and I laughed it off. And then I go on to say, I'll drop down on this page, um, just encouraging you all to, whenever you hear someone's testimony, don't make it so awkward. And in the book, I said, when I hear someone's testimony, I say, I'm truly inspired by your story. I can't imagine the pain you went through. Thank you for your courage to share it, and it inspired me to share my own journey and how my your excuse me. Thank you for your courage to share. It inspired me to share my own journey and how my faith helped me through it. And so, sometimes we don't know what to say because sometimes our testimonies are like really, really intense.
Yes.
And I've been in that position before when I've given a testimony and like sometimes the room goes quiet. And I can only imagine the thoughts, and sometimes the thoughts may be man, like, wow, she gave her testimony and I've been holding this in for such a long time. If she can do it, then I can do it. And then there's other times where it's like, wow, I don't know what to say, like you've been through a lot. um
Mm-hmm.
but just thank us for having the courage to give our testimony, and if you've been
Yeah.
encouraged and inspired, then let us know that.
Yes. Yes. Because there's always somebody that can be inspired. There's always someone that will be helped because of the testimonies.
Yes.
Um, my biggest thing after my husband passed was I was going through so many emotions that I didn't know what to do with it, and I'm not a person who drinks. I don't smoke. I don't do any of those things. So
Yeah.
I, I didn't have those vices to be, and I didn't want it. I didn't want that. So I said, I got to do something. And that's when I started writing a blog.
Mm.
And so the blog, and so I learned all those things through the network that Selena was in. And I started writing a blog, and it was just stories about how, to help widow women. And then I took some of those things when I realized that I gave some tips. I
Yeah.
took those tips. I wrote another book on how to help people heal. So
Mm.
it went from helping them to widows to heal to people in general healing from the many losses, not only family members, but loss of a job, loss of a car, a house, the many losses that we suffer. So that was, another book that I had written to help people through those losses. So we have, so my my journey that I am on is to help widows to tell their stories.
Yeah. That's good.
They, so I really see them, walking across stages and sharing their stories, and
Yes.
you know, so I'm going to bring that to life because I see it. I see it so clearly
Yeah.
that this, what's going to be happening. That this is going. My nonprofit is a widow's worth because I want to teach the widows that they are worthy and that they have a lot of worth because the journey of being a widow
Mm.
is a very lonely journey, and and it's hard to talk about. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Uh, and so we kind of go in the cocoon
Uh-huh.
um, because people don't understand, where we are with that. So unless you're a woman who has moved on to somebody else,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
it's difficult. It's a different journey, and anybody that has lost anybody, a
Mm-hmm.
mother who's lost a child, that's different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my job with the thing that I want to do is to teach widows how to tell their stories because they have so much inside of them that they need to bring out, and
Wow.
I
Yeah.
believe that it will help them. It will
Yeah. It
help them.
sounds like healing. Yeah. Yeah. That's healing. I think that's very important, and people need that. People need that. They're walking around holding this pain inside, not knowing what to do with it, how not knowing how to express themselves. But I
Mhm.
believe a form of healing is writing and telling your
Yeah.
testimony, talking about the different stages or, experiences in your life, and how you got to that point of healing. I
Mhm.
think that's very important. That's going to help a lot of people. And
Yeah.
I got to plug it in again. Virtual way publishing is the way to go. I don't know what y'all heard. I don't know what y'all talking about. but yeah, it's happening over here with us, y'all. Come on over to Team Virtual Way Publishing. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. And to everybody who's listening to the sound of my voice, all this is going to go all over the nation. Virtual Way Publishing. I'm telling you, you're gonna don't regret it. Don't regret
Thank
it. I'm blessed
you
and
so
I'm better because of it.
thank you so much for the love. Show your cover again. I know we can see it in the background, but show it, put it up to the camera again. Um, yeah, it's really nice, really nice book, and the stories are very very inspirational in this book. You see how thick it is. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of wonderful, wonderful
It's
stories. So I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, thank you. I'd say it's not it's thick enough to read, and I like it because the words are like big enough for you to read it. You know how you get those books and the words are really small, so it's a comfortable read, and
Yeah,
it's not a lot of pages, but we have a lot of great testimonies in here. We also have, this is going to be a surprise to the whole universe. We have my husband's testimony in here. He so graciously agreed to give his testimony. And I'm telling you, it's powerful. I'm trying to tell you, it's powerful. Um, I have some other family members in here. My son, he gives his testimony. My sister gives her testimony. And a few others from all over the world, came together and said, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. It's time.
yeah,
It's time. Again, I thank all of the
yeah,
contributors for being bold enough to tell your story, because this is getting ready to hit the nations, and that's what the Holy Spirit told me. He spoke and said, this book is gonna go global," and the whole point of that. Also, I wanted to share that this is not the type of book where you just sit it down on your shelf. If y'all was to see my bookshelf over here, to my left, your right, depending on your angle, I have a lot of books that's just sitting there. I read them
yeah.
and I put them down on the shelf, and I'll go back when I feel like I need a refresher on something. But this is not that book.
Mhm.
And I say that because um, what we want you to do is read it. After you read it, you get strengthened in your faith. If you decide to give your life to Christ, after all of those things, and then you feel a nudge, and that's called the Holy Spirit to the new beginners, um, who's walking with Christ, and you feel a nudge to, tell your testimony, you can do so. You can do so. Let me turn to the page. You can do so. What we did was we gave you room to tell your testimony in the back of the book. You see that?
Mhm.
And it says, "Your story, His glory." So you don't have to go through the same process that we did, that I did. You don't have to do the editing and so forth. You don't have to get the approvals. When you feel led, you can give your testimony and then pass the book along. So now you have your own personal testimony in this book. And the whole point is to get that circulating. And then if you feel led to come back again and do the same thing, you come and you purchase the book, give your testimony, and we keep blessing people with your testimony. And now you can say, hey, now now you're in a book, and you didn't have to pay for it. You didn't have to go through all of the editing and things of that nature. And now your testimony becomes a powerful message that's going to help inspire and encourage and strengthen other people.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm telling you, it's been wonderful having you here tonight. I'm
Oh,
thankful that, we didn't rush. I
yeah.
went, beyond my 30 minutes, but this is my Friday night chat, so I can stay on as long as I want.
I see you got the link up. Praise
Yeah,
God.
so this is the link to the book launch. Tell us a little bit about that and how much it's going to cost for the tickets and
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. Thank you. So we have our book launch. We launched on Kindle, and that was released on the 18th of November of this month. So we launched with that, and God, blessed us with that, and we made the top 100 for that time frame. And so that was a blessing. That was pretty cool. And then so the main launch is going to be on the soft launch is going to be on November the 30th. If you click on that link right there, you'll see. So we have a special for the holidays, for the Thanksgiving season. And so we're giving thanks. Thanking God for all that He has brought us through. So we have a deal 2 for 1. You buy 2 tickets, you get one for free. And that third ticket that you get, I'm gonna personally hand you a book to that person. I'm gonna sign it and give a special message as led by the Holy Spirit just for you, um, for supporting and coming out. So we have that deal coming, and it's actually now. If you click on the link for a short period of time, you get 2 for 1, and if the third purchase, you get the book. So we pray that you join us. I know it's a holiday season, but I believe that it's going to be an awesome time. We're going to have fellowship, testimonies. We have, someone coming to, minister in song. We have a inspirational encouragement session. It's going to be so much, and yours truly, I'm going to be there signing, and our other contributors of the book, they're going to be there and signing their stories in the book. We're going to take pictures. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be great, and the tickets are only $15.
I said I'll be there, and
Yeah.
I'm going to get my signature from everybody. I will be there. I will be there. I'm so excited about being there. I'm so excited because, like I said, this has come full circle.
Yeah.
And I was on your stage talking about my first book.
Oh.
So now it's full circle.
That's so amazing. I remember that. I remember that was amazing. Humble beginnings. That was sweet.
Yeah. Before we leave, I'm reminding you of telling them, who you are in the music industry. So, and then you guys, we're gonna close out.
She done put me out there, y'all. Yeah.
You are,
Yeah. So I am the Chief Serving Officer of Heaven Sent Management Group. And we gave the title Chief Serving Officer because it is my responsibility to be an example and lead by example. So we've been representing artists for several years. We took a break, and now we do have some special announcements coming soon. In the new year of 2025, at the top of the year, we have some big announcements, some great things that we're doing. We have auditions coming up. We've made some amazing connections, that it just blows my mind how God is still so faithful. And he said, hey, listen, it's time. It is time to come back. It is time. This time is going to be bigger and better. Um, that's not tooting any harm, but when God said it's going to be bigger and better, and it's going to be done my way this time, so it's going to be big. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. I can't say anymore, but it's going to be big. 2020, January 2025. Watch out. We're going to start promoting soon in probably a week or two.
And listen, and everybody, she is a singer in her own right. And I'm telling you,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah, right. How about when you were a tour in Europe, right? But she and her sisters, when they get together, it's amazing. They capture you, and you're just sitting there, and you're in awe. And it's like listening to, heavenly voices. So I'm just thankful for them. Tanea came on, and she said, hey.
Hey,
so
sis.
We welcome Tanea, which is Selena's sister. So listen, we thank God for everybody who stayed on, who listened to Selena's YouTube audience, who she has listening as well. We thank God for all of you for being here tonight on this Friday night. Here in Philadelphia, it's a cool, rainy Friday night. Oh my goodness, it's cold out.
Yeah.
But we thank God for all of you, and I'm telling you, I am so godly proud of my sister cousin
Thank
for
you.
of faith and for being here. Who took time out of her busy schedule to be here with me tonight. So I love you, and
I
I look
love you
forward
back.
to here next week at the launch. I'm looking forward to. I'm getting more and more excited as the days go, and thank you to all of you who came here with us tonight. So I'm going to sign off, and I thank you for um, lifting me up and encouraging me with Virtual Way. And so, if anybody is ready, we are at the end of the year, and this is the time that people start wanting to, make their list of things that they want to do for the new year. Uh, so if that's what if the writing a book is one of those things, then you can contact me and let me and my team get started on your book for the new year. Um, I've got some people who are rushing trying to get their stuff done before the end of the year. So, but I'm thankful that you were able to get yours done because it's right in time for Black Friday. So, um,
Right on, yeah, they can pick it up right on Amazon. It's right on Amazon, and we're
right
gonna put it
there.
on other larger platforms as well. But that's coming soon.
Okay. All right. God bless everybody and have a great, great night. And until next week, we will see you again.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. God bless y'all.
Okay.
Woohoo! Listen, everybody, that was the end. That was your VIP ticket. You know, my day. I call them my day ones. Y'all been here with me for 3 years, so you was able to get that VIP ticket for the backstage. But listen, I love y'all. I love y'all with no strings attached. You already know. Share the love, be the love, because God is love. And I'll see y'all next week. Don't forget to buy your tickets. I want to see your face in the place. I need hugs, and we're gonna have a good time. I'll see y'all soon. Bye bye.
Oh my goodness, girl! My nose, everything started.